In this video, you're gonna see an awesome recipe for seared fish, for just searing fish. And the best news is that this is a really easy way to do it and it doesn't require anything fancy. I learned this from a good buddy of mine, Nick Turner, who lives in Hawaii. So here's a video to see exactly how he does it.
So the recipe is super easy and very cheap. You don't have to buy that black and red fish seasoning. You can just use good old McCormick taco seasoning. You can get it in the packages, you can get it by the bulk, whatever it is. It's super cheap, and it's doesn't take away from the flavor of the fish. It's just crusted on the edge, so it doesn't overpower it. It's really good with soy sauce and wasabi. So what we have here, I kind of took out all the bloodline of any fish that you could eat raw. This is a short bill spearfish. You can do it with Wahoo or Ono, ahi, any type of tuna. I've done it with Cobia. I've heard guys doing it with snook, but all you do is no olive oil or anything. You just wanna use a lot of it and just rub it in all around every side. As much as the more you can get on this, the stick to the meat, the better. It's a little humid here in Hawaii, so stuff gets a little chunky, but you want to just grind it in there, stick it, rub each one down, but don't put any olive oil or anything on it. You just want to do it on a dry fish. You want to dry the fish off with a paper towel, and just coat each one in it. Now we're going to keep these pretty raw. They're just going to touch the skillet for maybe 15 seconds each side, maybe a little longer for the big ones. We just want to crust the edge because this is a really good fish to eat raw, so we don't want to wreck that. We just want to crust it. So once we get them all coated and ready to go, we got over here, we got our skillet on pretty hot, as hot as it gets. You can use any kind of oil. I'm just going to use avocado oil. It's pretty good, and it can handle really high heats. You can do it with butter, you can do it with olive oil, whatever you have. So we're gonna drop a couple of these big ones in here first. Like I said, you just want to touch them on there. You don't want to overcook them. This thing's pretty hot already. Be careful. So we're gonna go put the big ones on first. And then the small ones. Roll the oil around. Okay, so now when they're good, we want to give them a turn. Kind of crusty on there. Make sure they have a little nice color. We're gonna leave these pretty raw in the middle, so we just want the seasoning to kind of crust on there. We don't want to cook the thing too much. My experience, you only cook fish a lot that don't taste good. So we're almost to the end here. I'm gonna take these off. These little ones are done. I'm gonna crust it on both sides. Still raw in the middle, you can see that right there. So you're still raw in the center. You do this any tuna, sashimi grade. Okay, now the most important step in this is to get this cold. So we want to stick it in the refrigerator. If you're kind of pressed on time, you can stick it in the freezer. But I just stick it in the refrigerator, let it cool down, so that the reason why we do that is so when we cut it really thin, it doesn't fall apart. Right now, if I were to cut it, it would just flake apart and it wouldn't be that good. So we want to get it to where we can cut it in like 1/4 inch pieces, maybe a little smaller. So we're going to stick it in the refrigerator and revisit it later. I had some friends come over kind of soon, so I threw it in the freezer instead of the refrigerator for about 10 or 15 minutes just to get it down to the centered cold. So we're gonna pull it out. It's looking good. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a piece of it and you can chop them as big as you want, but I like to do them in at least bite-sized pieces. So hopefully if we let it in there long enough, it should cut super easy and be perfect. I like to do them like about 1/4 of an inch See how there's just a little bit of crust on the outside, just enough for some flavor, but not too much to overpower the fresh fish. The final step is using some soy sauce and wasabi. And this is a step you can either just do straight soy sauce, or you can add wasabi as little or as much as you want, depending on your level of man-ness. Luke's like a 3, I'm like a 6. So we're gonna squeeze some in there. You can always add more. We'll do a little more. So we get it in there.
Good job, Leah.
And then we're gonna mix it all up. It's hard to tell when it's mixed up, but you don't want big chunks in there. Kinda use a fork so it breaks it up. Kind of whisk it. And then of course, you want to sample one. You can do the bare hands or chopsticks, and good stuff.
Now we'll eat up. See you later.
Bye.
Well, hope you enjoyed that video. Leave a question down below if you have any. If you have any suggestions on how to make it even better, please let us know. We're all about learning new and better ways to cook our fish. And if you want to see more recipes, I'll put a link down below. We have a ton of fish recipes and covering a variety of different species. So link down below for that. And more importantly, if you love catching inshore saltwater fish, be sure to check out our website if you're not already there, saltstrong.com. We have a wealth of information about catching redfish, sea trout, snook, flounder across the entire southeast United States. That's it for now. Hope to see you again soon.
There's something about the water that'll give you peace, all by yourself or with your family. Live salt strong and wear the line today.